CIPP's had an update 3 weeks ago. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I think this is the first release we've had without a cocktail. So I don't know, I guess Kelvin's run out of cocktails this time around, but we're moving on to fences or jumping, maybe? Who knows? But it's cocktails are over, I believe. We're onto a new era. So obviously this release, the video is going to be out quite a bit after this release. That's my fault. I was off sick, dying, but we're back now. We're back in the CIPP realm, and we're going to talk about the specifics of this release. It's not a huge one. Obviously, it's been 3 weeks since this came out, so the next one that comes will probably be in the next few days, and it's probably going to be quite large, so there will be another video following that. But this release has things that are big, just not a lot of things, I guess, if that makes sense. So big one here is interface polish, which I'll quickly jump over and show you. So if I go to basically any table in CIPP, the UI, you'll see that these buttons are different. So previously they were, I think it says they were just icons. No longer used as icon buttons. Google Material Redesign has said that they are hieroglyphs and are bad for usability. That's a big word. So instead we're using these buttons here that are like drop downs. So that's just a front end change. And that is across, any table you'll see on the UI, they're going to be updated. So effectively they've got rid of the icons and we're now using these buttons instead. That's the main sort of change with that. There's different filtering changes as well as table filters between pages. So that's really good and helpful. And you can set this checkbox in your settings. So if I jump back to this one here and go to my user, then preferences. So preferences rather than settings specifically, you can see save last used table filter here. So that's a quick one that you can switch on if you want. And obviously while you're here, it's not specific to the release. You can also do different offboarding settings, portal links, as well as saving it for all users or just yourself, and different attributes and things that you can do here. But we'll jump back to users for now and go back to the actual release notes. So the tag your it one down here and the putting your money where your mouth is are kind of linked in a way. So you can see mention here of the Intune admin build sys Intune policy templates for everyone to use. So CyberDrain have paid him to create a bunch of templates for CIPP specifically, and they're completely open source and hosted at this repo here, which I think I've got open in this tab here. So you can see the CyberDrain sys baseline repository with all these different things in it. So you can, obviously use this library if you want yourself by looking at it. Or if we keep reading through, we can see there's a story lane demo, which I've got in this tab, which will give us a bit more information on how to do it if you're so interested. You can click through the board, you'll have someone talk to you, but I've paused it, otherwise it's going to blow my ears off. There's no volume button for whatever reason, but I think that's just me having my volumes all a bit wonky. And clicking through will show you different ways to use it. But if I jump back to my version here and my bookmark, which I've already set, so obviously that's Intune device management policy templates, I can do browse catalog, and then you're going to see a whole new different UI here. So again, jumping back here, it's not part of the interface polish, but part of the tag your it. Intune policy management has got a lot of attention. When creating policies, you have to select them one by one, all these different things. So I would imagine this was what was going on at CyberDrain. They'd pushed a bit forward for that and getting all these templates, and then thought, hey, we may as well update the UI for this while we're at it. So jumping back to CIPP here, can select a baseline policy, and I've got the CyberDrain sys templates in here already. And then you can see it's pulling the repository and the folder layout if it exists in that specific repository. So we know this new one has that already. And then we can open one of these and see all the different policies that are applied to it. I can view it, see the policy details when that loads, shows me what it does, add setting for sites with intrusive ads. So plain and simple there, and I can close that once I'm done, and then choose to import that into my templates as well. And you can see that's just appeared here as a policy down the bottom. So it gives you a bit more information in here about what it does, but that's pretty much the thing here with this. And obviously if you wanted to, you could choose to get a template from an existing tenant. So I could say, hey, my partner tenant's got a bunch of policies that I think are really relevant and I want them in my templates. I can just import them directly from here. So maybe the Renada custom security settings, I'm going to import that, and that's going to then appear in my options with that same name as a policy I can use. And then when I go and set up a standard or apply the policy manually, I can use this template as one of my options. So a big sort of bonus there. And obviously, with thanks to Intune admin and Cyberdrain for making it completely open source for everyone to use. So that's really good. Other than that, there's not much more to sort of add on this specific release. We're obviously talking about all the Intune stuff, which is really good. It's going to help save time for people administering Intune, complex enough as it is. So having it made a bit easier like this is going to be great for everyone. The interface updates, just good for use. And then obviously there's some different API changes down here that we can go through. I've had a quick look through. There are different things that are probably going to be updates and beneficial for future releases, sort of setting the groundwork, if that makes sense. And other than that, I think the only two other mentions that I had were got a couple of new contributors. So I'm not going to bother trying to say names because I'm just going to butcher them, but you can see one here and one here. So head of PSA ticket outcome, add handling for deleted tickets. So that's pretty cool, as well as alert SMTP all success. And then I think, yeah, there was 2 new sponsors as well, so Domots and Guards. But that's pretty much the big stuff in this release. I'm curious to see what the next one will be called. But if you've got any feedback, anything, any questions, let me know. And I will speak to you again in the next release. Cheers.